Good morning, everybody. Let's go chart Wealth Wednesday with everybody. So hopefully you can hear me on the stream, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So let's get going. So I'll change the disclaimer. Don't forget, trading is risky. So we're going to go chart after chart. Let's go by the SPY. SPY retest of the 576. So let me delete all those trend lines. That's only two. And we're going to take a pen and we're going to look at, so I'll tell you what, we're missing the power trend box. So I want to do this. I want to delete this. And we're going to have it like this. And I need the power calculator long-term box here. And that's fine. We'll keep the major zone. Okay. So let's go by SPY. So if you look at SPY carefully here, guys, right? We went from blue to purple, blue to purple, blue to purple, right? You can see here from the top of the box to the bottom of the box. So we are coming to a very, very important area of resistance on SPY, which is going to be that 596. So we need to be very, very careful. If I take one of their pen there, this shoulder coming at 596, the head here, which was roughly 614, we need to be very, very, very careful on SPY at 596, sorry, okay? If we do break that 596, then we go for all-time high at 635. 635 by June, July. The power trend box look good here. You know, you have short-term up, long-term up, which means this morning we are looking for longs. We are looking for longs at what area? Probably those tail lows, which are this area here, right? This here, this 586, 589. So 586, 589, the 576 retest were perfect to the 596 shoulder. Okay, so again, I don't have a great pen for everybody, but 589, 86, huge huge support for the SPY now. Resistance, 596, critical shoulder. If that breaks, then we go for all-time high at 635. I don't think we do 635 before the end of July. I might be wrong, but I don't think we are doing it. I think we might go retest this 86, 89, and then we might go towards that 596 on the SPY. Okay. Next, we are going to move on to the NQ, since a lot of us trade the NQ. And notice that the NQ is doing exactly what I didn't want it to do, right? So just FYI, we still have a lower high on the NQ. And we need to be careful that they trap everybody towards this 21.9 on the NQ. See the shoulder here, kind of a little head here, lower high, 3 times. We need to be very, very careful of the 21.9 on the NQ. This is what I'm like really careful bumping. Now, this morning, where do we look at support in the probability power indicator? 21.420 is going to be an important. And there's a 21.3 somewhere. So 21.417 to be exact, 21.360 to be exact are the retracement area. Now we need to be very conscientious of there's like a lot of resistance here coming towards this 21.7, 21.9. So 27.21.9. Now, if you look at the lower time frame on the Nasdaq, I'm going to remove this and we're going to go to a daily chart. Probably going to help a little more on this one. You see, we're about to bump all this 21,566. So we need to be very careful in this institutional red zone, 21,566. If we pass that, then we are clear all the way to 21.9. So 21,566 will be key. So I gave you support, right? 21,417, maybe 24.20, 21,420, 21,360 on the pullback. The key first resistance is 21,566. We passed the institutional red zone on the power indicator, and now we fly towards 21,850, 21.9. But again, everybody, we need to be careful of that trap of this lower high right there. You know, this is going to be a very important trap coming into June, July, everybody. This could really screw you up. Okay? And this is why as we approach this 21.8, 21.9, I will start getting back at 40% cash. So if there's an opportunity between July and October, I can take advantage of it. Okay? I'll keep 70% invested because I have a really great cost basis in the 300. Now it's like almost $320,000 portfolio on the retirement side. So I'll stay invested with 50% to 60%, but I will want to leverage cash very soon, like within the next 2 weeks to 4 weeks, mid-June to July, to prepare eventually for a narrative of fear between July with the tariff, the unemployment, and October to buy more if there is another pullback. Okay, but this is looking good. This is looking good to possibly break 21,560 on Nasdaq, go to this 21.8, 21.9, but then be very, very, very careful. And ideally, this morning we want 21,420. Okay, next we are going to look at the bonds, and then we'll look at AMD, NVIDIA, there's earnings, and we'll be done. Okay, so the bonds. Well, the bonds are holding fairly well, guys. This is all about the shoulder, this head I gave you many times, the shoulders is holding pretty well. You have the higher low here going like this. So we got to hold this 108.30. 108.30, this area right there is the critical area for the bonds. If this cracks this summer, between July and October, we have a huge problem with a new low in bonds, a new high in rates, and this could shake the market as well. Okay. Next, we are going to go to NVIDIA earnings. So NVIDIA, same idea, very, very important. On the last earnings, they sold off the results. You're coming to the shoulder, right? So this is a problem here, this 135, 142 on NVIDIA. So I want to see how they finish the day. Also, I want you to be conscientious about the same lower high here in case they go slam and retest the 125. So I think NVIDIA is going to be played at 3 levels, looking at the power indicators. Okay. The first is the top, is the 165. The second is the edge here at 142. And the next one is the retest of the trend line at 125. So going into NVIDIA, I have not looked at the expected move on the options because I do own some NVIDIA and AMDs. But those are really the keys that I will look. Either they reject the institutional zones double dash is here. You know, this 140 area, 135 area, they slam back 125 and they reconstruct towards the 142, 165. Or they keep on going for the June-July melt up, 142, possibly if it's fantastic, the top 165, right? But I would really be careful this 142, 145 area on NVIDIA with a pullback 125. Okay? We are going to look at AMD because what NVIDIA does, AMD might follow. So AMD, believe it or not, it still is in the freaking downtrend. Even though I accumulated AMDs, it's still in a huge downtrend here. And we are bumping into the institutional zones at 118, 122. So let's call it 120. So we need to clear 120 on AMD to go to the 155, right there on the probability power indicator, and eventually the 204, right? So 204, 155, 120. The retracement area has been held very nicely on AMD 107, 108 area. So we cannot go back below 108 on NVIDIA. We got to hold NVIDIA. By the way, your likes and comments are appreciated if it's helpful, okay? Because I try to come and give you some on the chart review on Wednesdays. And the more engagement there'll be, will continue. The less engagement, then we will just keep 2 sessions per week, Tuesday trading, Thursday the tools. So this is kind of important, you know, like the NVIDIA earnings will set the tone for the rest of the first 2 weeks of June. If it will continue the melt up on NASDAQ. I'm looking, I have an eye on Palantir too. Palantir has been a very strong one, and it looks really good. Look, the previous bottom top was 125. I want to have Palantir breaking 125, 127, and see if Palantir has the juice to go to 149. So Palantir is key. It's fighting here. There's some net sellers coming on the short term that we need to keep an eye on, right? But Palantir, we need to be very careful at this 108, 100. It must hold now this 100, 108 pullback to go here, do the 149, and hopefully we'll split 241, 341 on Palantir within the next 6 months. Okay, I hope it was helpful, guys. I love you all. I'm going to go back to our VIP group. When we come on Wednesday, if you have charts that you want to review on the feed, let me know. I'll be happy to review those for you. And we'll do some giveaways, I guess, tomorrow on. We'll try to come around 8:30 after the initial claims, 8:45 tomorrow for Tool Thursday. Remember, we go on the power indicator channels. But those are a couple of key charts that we review: SPY, NQ, Palantir, AMD, NVIDIA. I hope it was helpful. Love you all, everybody, and see you tomorrow for Tools Thursday at 8:45. Take care.